Hi everyone, welcome to this Smart Charts European session. Hope you're all well. Alright, so we've come to the end of the week here and not any major news announcements out. We have UK retail sales where the market's expecting a slightly higher figure than the prior month. We'll see if that does cause any movement in the British pound pairs. But the pound hasn't been a huge focus for us. We have seen a bit of mixed price action on the pound pairs, where it's strong against some currencies but weaker against other currencies. Okay, so in this instance we're waiting for some of the bigger themes to actually develop and start trading some of those themes. So the big theme has been the US dollar this week and the Japanese yen and the Canadian dollar. That's where a lot of our activity has been, because of different news announcements that have come out causing lots of flows in the market, but also just understanding internal market dynamics. Where's the money flowing into and out of? What is everyone buying or selling? And the $7 trillion that changes hands every single day in the currency market. And actually, because of AI technology and some of the tools inside the smart chart, it does become a lot easier to actually identify that because of the currency strength indicator. And if you go inside the smart chart, click on the tools tab, it just gives us a quick insight in terms of where the buying and selling pressures are in the markets. So for example, we can see that the yen is particularly strong. So of course, Bitcoin and gold have been going up. So if you're trading other asset classes like that, there's been a lot of strength there, nice trends. And we have the yen going up. Okay, so we talked about that yesterday as well, where we've had a lot of yen pairs driving lower. We've had Aussie yen, Euro yen, pound yen, New Zealand yen, all actually coming lower. So that's been great if you've been trading some of the faster time frames, where you have a lot of your lower time frames in agreement going in that direction. And what this can do is it can help you identify those market flows before you even turn up and look at the chart. Or maybe you look at the chart and you want to see, okay, is this a really strong currency pair I'm trading? And you can come here and confirm it. All right. And really what you want to be doing for all the faster time frame traders, the lower time frame traders, you just really want to be pairing up strong and weak currencies, because currencies are paired. Okay, so you want to be buying the strong ones and selling the weaker ones. All right, and then just look for that trend to continue if it will do so. Medium to higher time frame traders, you would also be doing that, looking for those themes. If you're consistently seeing New Zealand dollar is weak every day, then you want to try and capitalize on that weakness and look for any shorting opportunities on the Kiwi. All right, but then also for your medium to high time frame traders, if you can see that, okay, well look, this currency has been really weak or really strong for such an extended period of time, then at some point there's going to be a bit of profit taking and come to the end of a trend. So then you might be aware of different major levels of support and resistance on the chart where that could actually happen. Okay, so it just gives us a quicker insight in terms of actually what is going on in the market. So based on this, of course, the New Zealand dollar will be an interesting one to keep an eye on, especially because next week, early middle of the week, we have some very important New Zealand news announcements coming out with consumer price inflation, which we know is a market mover for currencies. Okay, so if we maybe are starting to get that positioning developing before the news announcement, then that could be quite an interesting sign. And this is why if you go to your charts tab and if you go to your 180 phase change on the daily chart on Euro New Zealand dollar, there's some interesting things going on here. So first of all, your 180 phase changer strategy is one of the strategies that we go through on your Trader Certification Learn Forex workshop, and it helps to identify any momentum trends that are developing in the market. So there's different types of conditions the market goes through. Okay, you have momentum trends, long-term trends, short-term trends, volatility, contraction trends, complex ABC corrective wave cycle trends, ranges, consolidations. You have all these different things, and traditionally as a trader, what would we have to do? Well, going to have to turn up, at the end of each daily bar if you're trading a daily chart, or end of each 4-hour bar if you're trading a 4-hour chart, or 1-hour bar if you're trading a 1-hour chart. And of course, every time you turn up, you don't really know what's going on in the markets. You have to click on all the markets you're trading, okay, and analyze every single one of them for any potential opportunities, okay, which, it's obviously a lot of work, doesn't really lead to any consistent objective decision making. Quite often, before you've done all that, you've already missed a move, forcing people to enter the market too late. Can cause a lot of random, inconsistent trading. But actually, smart charts will massively help us, okay, because it will give us some currency pairs here, because it's already analysed a few of the different clues that we would like to see to trade. And it looks for clues on moving averages, so that's the yellow line and the blue line, which gives you a smooth line of price direction, okay. And generally speaking, when the yellow's above the blue line here, we have more bullish momentum, okay, where buyers are typically in control of the market, all right. And when the yellow is below the blue line, we typically have more bearish momentum, okay. So as you can see, all right, it can get us into some really decent opportunities and trend-based markets that are moving in a directional manner. Sometimes the trends last for quite some time, sometimes they're a bit shorter, okay, but markets volatility changes over time, that's okay. It would also look at relative price patterns such as ring highs and ring lows. And if you're not familiar with how each of your strategies inside of smart charts are going to be helping you to actually perform in the market consistently and objectively, make sure you're reviewing all your e-learning materials in the learn section of smart charts, attending all your online classes, workshops, live events and boot camps, your live events tab, attending all your coaching sessions, so you can analyze, or your coach and mentor can analyze all your performance data in your journal to then help customize and tailor your trading plans to your strengths and weaknesses. But on top of what smart charts are doing, there's literally just one or two things that we look for ourselves as well, okay. So the first thing that I like to look for, I like to be in what is known as the moving average zone, okay. So that's basically being on the yellow line, on the blue line, anywhere in between that is fine. Why? I like to trade there because it gives me a focus. I can say, well, last time we got there, buys turned up. Last time we got there, buys turned up. Last time we got there, buys turned up. So who knows? Maybe buyers might turn up here again. All right, as they've been turning up in this moving average zone before in the past. All right, so it just gives me a bit of a focus. All right. And the second thing I like to look for, an additional level of support or resistance on the chart, a visible area in the chart that I can see buyers could turn up because they've turned up here before, okay. And that's more to do with confidence, right? Taking a trade because we can see the evidence on the chart. So you have different different types of support and resistance levels. You can have diagonal levels, you can have horizontal levels. So for example here, what we have is this high point. Okay, you can see this high point here was acting as a level of resistance, but then it broke through and now it could act as a level of support. So you can get what we call these resistance and support switchovers. All right, so what we have here, what we end up having here, is a confluence of support areas where buyers could potentially turn up. Okay, and this is on top of knowing that the Kiwi is relatively weak across the board, right? Everyone's already selling the New Zealand dollar across many of the other major currency pairs. So as this exchange rate goes up, this is Euro New Zealand dollar, as this exchange rate goes up, the Euro is strengthening while the Kiwi is weakening, which is aligned with the currency strength index. And something you might notice, and by the way, that's it, okay, those are the couple of things I look for, and then I'm good, I'm ready to take a trade. But just on a side note here, okay, what you may notice is that sometimes what can happen is, the market will basically put in a really big move, okay, and then sometimes it can go sideways. And then sometimes it can actually break outside of that sideways range and then continue in the move. Right, just like here, market can go in a certain direction and just move sideways and then break out and continue sort of in that move. Okay, so we have something similar here where we've had this big move and maybe we're consolidating, all right, before we continue the move, all right. What is known as a volatility contraction. Okay, you have a really big move, volatility contracts, everyone's taking a bit of the breather, but then this could be an accumulation phase where everyone starts to position themselves for another big move, all right. So there's a few other things going on here as well, okay, and we can also see that there's potential that maybe the market wants to get to this high point. There's a potential, isn't it? Markets do like to gravitate to these very long-term swing highs and swing lows, we call them, okay? So basically, you know, on the way up here, consistently we've had price, you know, driving higher. It'll be interesting to see if we do eventually get to this point, all right? But in this instance, for me, that's enough, and smart charts, on top of helping to identify opportunities much easier, with more consistency and confidence. But by the way, we can take the things that we look for. It's only one or two things. So in your coaching sessions, it's very easy for your coach to help identify where your strengths and weaknesses are, because you only have to look for a couple of things. Smart charts are looking for all the other things, all right? And also we can take that level of focus and train and condition ourselves every single week and build 100% belief and confidence in following the plan, listening to the market and trusting yourselves through the back testing and forward testing work that we do on your day 3 of your Learn Forex Trade Certification workshop. It will also help do the risk management side. If we click the up icon, it will populate an entry price at the blue dot, stop loss at the red dot, target the green dots, which can all be adjusted according to your own user preferences. And I like to set an expiry on this particular strategy on this time frame of a current bar close, and then decline or accept the trader at the bottom. And basically what that means is if buyers don't get to the entry level by the time this current daily bar closes, this pending trade would expire, didn't win, didn't lose, didn't cost anything. If they do decide to turn up, that will then trigger into a live open trade, and then either it goes to the target level or it goes to the stop loss level. So either it turns into a winning trade or it turns into a losing trade. Now, something we can see here is that we could adjust the target a little bit higher, maybe to get to a bit more closer to this high point there at the top, okay? We can simply drag the lines on the charts and then just update the trade. Very easy to do so, just to squeeze out a little bit more of a higher reward to risk on the trade when it is available, okay? All right, so plenty of other different opportunities developing in the markets. Make sure you're attending all your other live intraday trading webinars happening throughout the day and capitalize on those intraday movements. But for now, that's it from me. I'm going to wish you all the best for your trading. Bye for now.